Hi guys. Oh, I've got my light on. Got no light. Hang on. This will be the darkest live ever. Oh, that's not really helping us. Hang on, guys. Need to turn the lights on. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Sorry, guys. I've got no light. The darkest live in the history of time. That's better. Hello. Hi, guys. Hi, everyone. Excuse my messy kitchen. Who's here? Magic, Jamila, Christy, Bianca, Brittany. Hi, darling. Gabriella, Alison, Nat, Tiki, Malibu Milk, Terry, Cherry, Simone, Myrna, Brianna, Brienne, Tiki, Rachel, Arika, Margaret. Yay! Sorry, guys, about yesterday. I'll show you. I was with my friends. I just sent through a photo of this. My bloody Face ID doesn't work on this new phone. So I was out with my girlfriends having a girls' drinks. And then when I got there, I couldn't figure out how to go live from my phone because it started in the morning and we ended up going all day. And I can't go live from my phone once I've scheduled the live on the YouTube. It won't let me. I have to do it through the webcam because it's set up as webcam and I don't have any other choice. And I was like, oh, shit. And so then I had to go to TikTok. And then I had kids all running around me and kids trying to go on TikTok with me. And I thought, I can't really bring everyone's kids on TikTok without asking the mums. So I thought, I better not stay on here too long. So I won't post that one from yesterday just in case people don't want their kids on there on YouTube. Hi, guys. Sorry it was so short, guys. It was only 10 minutes long and very late and like 2 hours late. So if any of you joined yesterday on YouTube, I apologize. Hey, Laws, why is my man coming in and out of my life? He says, I come in and out of his life. Well, look, they're just reflecting your thinking, darling. So if you think everything's hot and cold, they'll reflect that back. So, well, you're doing that to me, or you're not calling me enough, or some bullshit. You've got hot and cold thinking about him, like he doesn't like you, he likes you, he wants you, he doesn't want you, he's calling, he's not calling. You've got to stop all that thinking, darling. You look great. Oh, thanks. How was my Christmas treats? It was great. It was so lovely. I haven't seen all these girls for like a year. And they're all old school friends. And a friend of mine's the girl who was hosting it had just moved into this mansion, like of a house. And we were all just like we were expecting a new house. Like it was a new house times like 1,000, like better than anyone's parents' house. And we were like, oh shit, this is enormous. It's hilarious. I'm great, guys. Oh, got messages coming through. My Face ID doesn't work on my new phone either. Oh, I know. I'm like, with glasses or no glasses, it still doesn't work. It's like I would rather just have the press button thing that I used to have. It'd be so much easier. Any questions at the top here I've missed before I started? Hey, Loz, I've recently started affirming that the calories, carbs, sugars, etc. in food and drinks mean nothing. I only eat to experience the taste. What I consume has no effect on my weight or health. Oh, what's happened? Does that work? Let us know. Because yesterday someone was like, do you want a gingerbread man? I'm like, I'll have one. I wouldn't normally, but I did. Isn't it wonderful how my SP texted me during this live? Yes, Simone, love that. Who's ready to manifest? Absolutely. Finally made it to a live, yes. So sorry about yesterday, guys. I'd had far too much champagne to actually even read the questions properly. Had to stop drinking at the end of the day just so I could drive my car. I saw that one. SP messaged me and we talked, but then he didn't respond. What should I affirm? Didn't get triggered this time. Wonderful, Rose. Look, guys, a lot of people are having this experience where the SPs will come back, they'll be chatting for a little while and then they disappear for a little while. And the mistake a lot of people are making is they're putting meaning on the disappearing rather than thinking, oh, they're just playing hard to get, or they don't want to look too keen, or they don't want to look too desperate. They're just, leveling out the contact because we've had no contact for ages, then a lot of contact, then peters out a bit. Don't give any meaning to the petering out or the distance or the not replying. Just let it go. Get on with your life. Focus on you and imagine they're calling and texting you, okay? Don't give meaning to it. That's wonderful. You can get triggered, darling. What's this, Brittany? I finally decided to write out the old story. I don't know why I haven't, honestly. Oh, avoidance, darling. We all do it. When writing out the old story, do you make it detailed or just general and make a new story detailed? Brittany, get as much out as you can, darling. Get everything out that it's like a vomit. You don't want to just vomit a little bit and keep the rest in your stomach. You want to have a full fucking vom. Darling, write it all out. Anything you can think of that's bad. Get rid of it. What do you need it for? What are you holding on to it for? What are you avoiding writing it about? You know what I mean? A lot of this is avoidance, guys, when you don't want to write the old story. I didn't for ages, and then I did, and I was like, oh, now I know I didn't want to write it. It really upset me. Got to get it out. Have a big, it's like the vomitorium at the Colosseum. Just throw everything up and then go back for more. I mean, more good story. That would have been fun. Yes, it was great. Although there was one friend who was whingy, whiny, and at one point I yelled at her. Then everyone went like that, and I was like, "Sorry, I'm used to it." I was just, when someone derails a conversation and spends hours talking about their problems, and it's meant to be a fun day, and you're like sitting there like, "We're meant to be having fun, but this is fun," and you just get to a point where you're like, "Can we stop talking about this? Because we've been talking about this for 3 hours." It's one of those days, and I was just getting to a point where I was like, "I can't listen to this victim shit anymore." Hi, Lots. Last night I listened to your sleep affirmations and woke up to a snap from a guy from my past. Haven't spoken to him in 2 years. SB's next. Oh, darling, 2 years. SB's definitely next. You're working on the 2 years, dude. Oh, hi, Lots. I was telling you my cat went in for surgery yesterday. While she was away, I kept visualizing her acting normal and not in pain. And when we came back home from the surgery, she went straight to sleep. And when I opened the door to check on her, she came sprinting out, bouncing up and down, trying to steal my food like usual self with a cone on her head. Oh, wonderful, darling. Oh, back to her healthy self. Oh, that's wonderful. My friend's dog wasn't very well when we got there yesterday. And she was like, oh, I think I have to take him to the vet while you're all here. I think I have to take him to the vet. I think he's eaten something poisonous from the garden. And I'm like, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. Everyone's like, oh, take him there. Everyone's freaking out. And so I sat there with him on the couch and I was like, you're going to be so healthy when you come back from the vet. They're just going to give you an IV and flush all this out of your system and you'll be feeling so much better. And you'll be back to your happy, healthy, bouncy self. Anyway, and when she went, she said, they're probably going to have to pump his stomach. And I was thinking, no, they'll just put an IV in his arm. They'll just put an IV. And he came back and he had a little blue bandage on, I thought. And I said, what have they done? She said, oh, they just did an IV. And I was like, oh. I said, I told him that. And she was like, oh. I was like, sorry. Wonderful, darling. That's great. Oh, that's a wonderful story. Love it. Hi, I met the man of my dreams this past week. Oh, told him I was really into him and he said he was too and would be into it if he wasn't married. Oh. This is not the story I wanted to hear. And would be into it too if he wasn't married. I truly know we're meant for each other. What do I do? Darling, it's been a fucking week. Are you for real? Is this a for real comment? It's been a week. You're in love with him and he's a man of your dreams in a week, is he? And he's married. He sounds like a keeper. Darling, if you choose someone who's married, you've got to assess yourself. And I mean that. Because you're literally picking a person who can't choose you. And then you're choosing the dream that you're never going to have. So it's like a whole lot of I'm not chosen. Oh, my God, dream person. And, oh, they're taken. So I never get the love I need. I never get the relationship. Relationships never work for me. But now I've found the dream person, but they're completely unavailable to me. Great. That's a whole lot of I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough to even have a proper relationship. Shit. You've really got to go and do my sleep tapes. I'm not chosen, I'm the priority, because there's a whole lot of shit going on there, especially if you've been love bombed in a week or you've fallen in love with the dream person in a week. It's a week. Give it 6 months and tell me what he's like. I hate to say that, but like, that sounds like, oh, I've never felt anything like this before and I'm falling madly in love with you, except you're completely unavailable, which is about you choosing a person on purpose who's not going to choose you because when you're a child, you're made to feel not good enough or you weren't given the love you needed. So you're literally choosing someone who's not going to give you the love you need and he's not going to choose you. You've really got to assess that. I'm not saying don't be in love with this guy, but it doesn't sound like a great situation to me. He would be too if he wasn't married. Well, you can imagine you and him together, but I hope you're imagining you and him together married or you and him together as a couple, not you and him together as an affair, because that won't be good for your heart. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that situation if you guys end up together, but if you don't end up together and you end up as the third wheel, not great for you, darling. That's a whole lot of I'm not chosen. That's how you got yourself in that situation in the first place. Probably not what you wanted me to say. You've got to assess it, guys, if you choose someone who's chosen already. I had some good movement, but then it just stopped. Stop saying that, guys. Please. Why are you saying it stopped? How do you know it stopped? How the fuck do you know what's going on? You're looking out here, are you, at the stopping? There's a whole lot of movement going on back here, but you have no idea. Could be masturbating furiously about you every night, telling all his friends he's madly in love with you, breaking up with his current girlfriend, but you have no idea. Apparently it stopped in your eyes. So, well, then it stopped then, because you're telling it stopped. Hi, Loz. I don't know if you remember when I was complaining about my SP family not liking me. Yes. I finally wrote out the old story, read it out loud, part 1, then wrote a new story. I've been reading it out loud for 2 days straight, and now I listen to your sleep affirmation tapes, and I dreamt of me and my SP's mum having a good conversation. Wonderful, darling. That's great. I think my subconscious is accepting the new story already. Wonderful. Darling, just throw that story away. It's like sometimes you'll read into the way people look at you, treat you, speak to you, and it's nothing of the sort. And it's all about your stuff. I used to think people didn't like me and they didn't feel anything of the sort. And it was just like me reading into what they were doing based on what I thought about me. It's a whole lot of nothing, right? So do you create the story with the mum. You create the story with his side of the family and what you want it to be like. And it will be that way. Absolutely. Hang on, guys. Hi, Loz. My SP is not showing me how he feels, and I'm so confused about how he feels. Arika, you tell him how he fucking feels. Guys, some of you really aren't getting this. How you feel he feels is how he will feel. If he's not telling you how he feels, do you have a dominant story that he can't express his emotions, he's a man of few words, his ego is bigger than his, emotions, he doesn't reveal his feelings well, he's never said he loves you, I need to hear I love you, I need words of validation, I need words of love to know that I'm loved? That's about you. That's your story about him and your story of you. So if you need the words of love and validation, that's about you and your childhood shit. And if you have a story about him not being able to express himself, he won't be able to express himself until you change the story that he expresses his love to me all the time. He always tells me how much he loves me. He's constantly in his feels with me. He's constantly emotional with me. He's so emotional and sensitive with me now. He's so vulnerable with me now. You start saying that, he'll change. But you need to also assess why you need that so badly. Hi, Loz. I'm in need of major help. Found out SP has slept with someone else. We've had the biggest argument, told me I'm the worst person he's met. Oh, that sounds delightful. So you're together, he slept with someone else, and then he said, you're the worst person he's met. Who is this jerk? He sounds like a see you next Tuesday, darling. Guys, some of you are picking some fucking jerks. Miss A, I ask you, is this the kind of person you want to have children with and be married to who says things like that to you? And then goes and sleeps with other people? Right. So you just got to assess, why did you choose this kind of person? What self-concept were you in when you chose this guy? Was your self-concept not so great? Was he always like this? Or was he great when you met him, wonderful, treated you like gold, monogamous, never looked at another girl, and slowly stuff's changed and now he's turned into this jerk? If that's the case, it's your thinking during the relationship, or was he always like this? Because if he was always like this, it's a lot harder to change him in your mind because you've got nothing to go back to. Okay, it's a lot easier when they were great at the beginning, guys, to change them in your mind back into the guys great at the beginning. You're going to have to imagine a completely different guy then if you want to change him in your reality. But there's a whole lot of, I didn't get treated well here. Were you abused as a kid or something, darling, or had a household where you just weren't given love and affection? Because something's going on here. Because that's not the way you treat someone, talk to someone. And obviously there might be some major trust issues here with you, that he's gone and slept with someone else because you actually consider that you can't trust people. You might think guys are players, or you think women are a threat. And so therefore it's manifest in your reality that he's slept with someone else when he's with you. And then he's been nasty about it back to your face. Were you ever emotionally or verbally abused or physically abused as a child, darling? That would be why that's happening. Let me know. Is saying, thinking how it's coming, okay, or not really living in the end, I'm still doing inner combos. Look, you can do it inner combos that kind of a bit, how did you feel when you weren't with me? Oh, I felt this way. I missed you. You can do that, darling. It's not so much how. It's more just you're in the end and you're talking about it like it's already happened. I'd more have inner combos that way. Is that what you mean? If I'm in no contact with my SP and there's a third party, is going hardcore on self-concept enough to nudge them to reach out to us? Curious how that always works when they get the idea to come to us while a third party too, with a third party. Guys, look, you've got to just consider the third party not a problem. It's pretty much it. Like, if you consider that the third party is going to be the reason why they can't reach out, then you obviously don't have a dominant assumption enough that they love you enough. Because regardless of whether there's a third party or not, if they love you in your mind, they'll reach out. If they miss you in your mind, if you're their person in your mind, if they're your twin flame in your mind or whatever you want to look at it like, they'll reach out regardless of the circumstances. You know what I mean? People could be on their deathbed and they try and contact their loved one. You know what I mean? Like, they'll find a way to contact you. They'll contact you. But if you've got a dominant story that the third party is going to stop it, then it doesn't matter what you affirm about him. You've got this dominant story that because of this bitch that's there, he won't be able to reach out. He's a good guy. He'll never break up with her. He'll never call me because of her. You've got to get rid of that obstacle because otherwise you just got this thought in your mind, well, until she goes away, he won't contact me. Just banish her completely from your mind as even existing. Imagine she died. Is listening to affirmations the same as me affirming? No, guys. Listening to affirmations is very passive, okay? It's like you've got to improve your singing voice by listening to a song or singing a song. You're going to improve, your body by watching a workout tape or actually doing a workout. You have to actually do the thinking. When it's sleep tapes, well, you're going to be sleeping. So that's an added bonus of time when you're doing affirming, when you can't be affirming because you're asleep. But if you're just passively listening to affirmations all day and you're not bothering to actually think them or say them out loud, it's very passive and not as useful as a mental diet where you're thinking it. It's different when you're asleep. But if you're awake and listening, I wouldn't recommend that too much unless you're doing it whilst you're doing work and stuff. And then when you've got idle time, then you're affirming. That's great. Play it while you're working and shit in the background. That's wonderful as a constant reminder. But then when you have the time, affirm. Okay? When you have the time, flip the thoughts. Hi, Loz. Merry Christmas. Oh, God, it's almost Christmas. Oh, yeah, shit. I haven't even done the Christmas shopping yet. I think I bought one thing for someone. Thank you, darling. Do your friends love having all your wisdom at their fingertips? No, I don't think so. I think a lot of people don't want to hear it, darling. Yesterday, this girl just didn't want to hear it. She just wanted to stay in full victim mode. No, but there's some facts of the matter that blah, and I just sat there thinking, oh, fuck. And then someone else said something to kind of back me up, and I was like, oh, thank God. And that's when I kind of yelled at her. I said, you're not listening. And anyway, I was just like, oh, fuck. And I felt like saying, none of us want to hear this anymore. We're all sitting here listening. We don't actually want to hear you whinge. Like, we're having champagne and a good time. We're not therapists. Go and do this in therapy. And she said to me, I think I need to do the therapy you did. And I said, well, love, you could do that, or you could just let me yell at you and you'd be over this in a week. She didn't want to hear that. I've been affirming money-related things, and today I found out my dog insurance will only cover $35 out of $790. Oh, no. I've been so confident in affirming. What am I doing wrong? Oh, no, darling. Okay. So just imagine that the whole bill is paid in full and you didn't have to pay it. Somehow you didn't have to pay the bill. Either someone gives it to you as a Christmas present, a parent pays it, the insurance works out, something happens, go and appeal it. Like, put in an appeal to the insurance company and say, no, that's not enough. I've been paying my insurance, blah, 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 blah. This is special circumstance or something. And then decide that the decision they're going to make is in your favor. And then also imagine the bill paid. And it doesn't matter if it was the insurance company, someone else paid it, you found $790 on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? Just imagine it paid, darling. And with confidence, write back to them and dispute it. You can do that, guys. It's like applying for a job and assuming you've got it. You can appeal something or dispute something or write an email knowing you're going to get the outcome that you want. I stopped affirming my SP and just self-concept affirmations. I'm feeling so confident since. Yeah, it really helps, guys. It really does when you don't focus on them. Hi, Loz. Oh, thank you, darling. I just found out my SP has been seeing someone for months. I was on top of the world and then this hot, what the fuck? Oh, Christine, look. It happens, guys. Sometimes it's the old them that you thought they were, the old thoughts of them playing out. Did you ever think he might choose someone else? Did you ever think he didn't love you? Did you ever think a third party might come along? Ta-da, here she is. That's what it is. So if you can accept that and not be thrown by it, great. But if you think, oh my God, I've been affirming all this time and it hasn't been working. Well, what were you doing all the other time? So when you were with him, were you thinking he didn't love you, didn't want you? When you've been apart all this time, were there times before you found me where you weren't really affirming that he loved you and wanted you and seeing you two together? Was there time when you were thinking someone else might come along? Well, that's playing out now. It's very delayed. So guys, when the third party comes along, you've got to think, what was I thinking before? They're not a problem. They're just an obstacle you've got to overcome in your mind. But if you see them as this total big problem, well, then you're fucked. It's up to you, Christine, how you want to look at it. I have a long question. Put it in, darling. I also don't apologise for not being able to come on live. You do this for free. Oh, thanks, darling. Oh, look, well, yeah, yesterday I was too bloody pissed. Hi, Loz. 3P showed back up. I'm assuming I need more self-concept. Just don't see her as a threat, darling. Just don't see her as a threat. See yourself as completely chosen by him. There's no other choice but you. You are the only choice. I'm the chosen one. That's it. I don't care what bitches come along. I'm the one. I'm the one you're going to marry. The end. Fuck a million bitches for all I care. You're marrying me. You've got to have that attitude. No one compares to you. No one. I asked my SP why he is hot and cold, and he legit said it's subconscious for him. I answered this the other day, darling, and I told you it's all you, and you're not getting it's you. You're getting that you're causing the hot and cold by thinking he doesn't love you, he loves you, he wants you, he doesn't want you, he's calling me, he isn't calling me. It's you doing that. So, of course, it's subconscious. He doesn't even know why he's doing it. He's right in what he said. I recommend you just do what feels good to you. I also don't like to dwell on the old story. I know you didn't ask me. Yeah, look. It's hard when you write the old story, guys. It can be a shit show in your mind and it can really upset you, but sometimes it's really cathartic to do it. Hi, Loz. I asked a question on TikTok, but when you answered, the screen froze. Oh, my question is, what affirmations or what can I do to manifest my husband, health, and lots of money? A husband, health, and lots of money. Well, you can say really generalized stuff like, my life is perfect. I'm living in my dream home with the husband of my dreams, with a big rock on my finger. And we're also healthy, we're thriving with health. You can put it all together in one big affirmation, right? Or a visualization, having you sitting on the couch with your husband, eating popcorn, watching Netflix, looking down at your ring in your big house. And, you're in your gym gear because you're so healthy. Something like that incorporates everything in visualization. You know what I mean? But it's up to you how you want to do it, or you can do different affirmations for each. I love my husband. I love my beautiful big home. I love being so healthy. I'm so healthy. I'm thriving with health. I've never been so healthy. I have so much money in the bank. I can afford anything I want. Tipsy Loz Live, yeah. What are good affirmations for SP who has had a baby on the way with third party, currently a sexual relationship with him? Well, Kim, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Why isn't it a full-blown relationship? What's happening there? Have you got a whole lot of I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough thinking going on that you're not good enough for a full-blown relationship? Is he still in a relationship with her and you're choosing to sleep with him? That's about you, darling, not feeling good enough for even getting a relationship from him. So if you continue to do that and he's in a relationship with her, you've got to really assess that. But if you're just in a friends with benefits situation and it's sexual and you haven't got to the commitment stage yet, you've really got to see yourself as the girlfriend. Back to her completely out. She's just a baby mama. He's just there for the baby and that's it. He only spends time with her when it's about the baby stuff and that's it. And he's all about you. He's all about me now. And do a whole lot of I'm not chosen. I am chosen. I am good enough. Not the thinking you've currently got, which is I'm not good enough to be the girlfriend. Do a lot of those affirmations, darling. Do my sleep tapes about third party and priority and things. And I'm chosen. Hi, Loz. I'm in contact with my SP and all of a sudden it stopped. Would that be considered bridge of incidents? It's been really good not reacting. Look, guys, why did a lot of you think it stopped? What were you thinking before it stopped? Were you freaking out? Were you thinking it was too good to be true? Were you thinking, oh my God, I've manifested him back. I can't believe I did this. Wow. Hope it lasts. Hope he doesn't ghost me like last time. You're having that kind of thinking because that could have played out. Or it's just gone a little hiatus for a second and don't freak out. Just imagine the outcome you want. I got a new SP and our old SP keeps asking to hang out. Oh, it happens, guys. It happens. Especially when you don't care so much about them anymore. Hi, Loz. Last night I listened to your sleep affirmation and woke up to a snap from a guy in the past. Haven't spoken in 2 years. I love it. I'm 20 years older than my SP and I keep feeling guilty. I think that, oh God, that's just jumped. Shit. God damn it. God damn it. Sorry, guys. Hey. Oh, wow. This has jumped massively and I can't find where I was. Why does this do that? I thought circumstances don't matter. Yeah, they don't. But if you've chosen a circumstance where you've chosen a married person, you've got to assess yourself and think, why the fuck have I chosen a married person? Oh, because I don't feel chosen. So I'm literally choosing a person who won't choose me. Doesn't matter, but I've got to also assess what the fuck am I doing that for? That's about me. No, I'm not doing one-on-one coaching, Alma. It's very misleading in the lives. They're old lives where I used to do them. I'm sorry, darling. I will have group coaching soon. I promise. What question was I at? God damn it. You can do longer messages on here, but not massively long. Not like Facebook, Dylan, unfortunately. Okay, hang on. Where was I? I feel stupid when living in the end while my SPs hang out with someone else in 3D sucks. How do I stay sane? Valeria, you're considering the 3D as this thing that's apparently real. You've got to look at it as not real. Oh, well, he's hanging out with someone else, probably because I don't feel good enough or not chosen, and I thought he might find someone else, and I don't feel good enough to be the girlfriend. So that's just a reflection of my thinking. Why am I bothered by it? That's the way you've got to think. You've got to really switch your thinking. Think up here, not out here. You're looking out here way too much and being affected by it. You've got to really go and watch my videos and start living up here more. Live here, 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 here. Not be affected by out here. The more you do that, the happier you'll feel. I'm in no contact with my SP. All of a sudden, stop. Yes. 20 years older, and I keep feeling guilty. I think that the guilt I keep thinking him hot and cold, keeping him hot and cold. Who gives a shit if you're 20 years older, darling? Cougar Bill, hooray! Who cares? Thinks you're hot. He loves you that age. Who gives a shit? Stop thinking it has any meaning, any circumstance, like any meaning to anyone else. No one cares. Just assume no one cares, and he doesn't care. If you think it's the problem and you start feeling guilty about it, that's about you, darling. Just imagine it doesn't care. I'm always older than my SPs. It never fucking matters to me. Thanks to you, Loz, I got my SP to fully commit to me. Oh, wonderful, Joey. Do you have any questions on how to stop binge eating? It's ruining my life. Oh, God. Okay. So, I'm in full control of me. I'm in full control of the feelings I feel. I don't let my triggers trigger me anymore. I don't need to do anything to cope with life. I can cope so easily now. I can cope all by myself without anything to help me. I don't get overwhelmed anymore. I don't let my feelings overwhelm me anymore. I remember when I used to do that binge eating thing. I don't do that anymore. I'm in full control of how I eat now. It's a control thing, darling. So you've got to feel more in control. Talk to your body and your mind as if you're in control and you don't run me mind. I'm in control here. You're not going to tell me what to do. I don't need to do that anymore. That's the old me. Tell us if that helps. I desperately need to find a job, and I don't know if I should just go mainstream, take what comes, or wait. I'm really confused in this action and waiting. I've said, fuck you to prison, dude. Cannot be asked. Oh, okay, you said fuck you to prison, dude. Well, that's good. Look, darling, you can go and find the jobs, but, and also you can take a job that you don't particularly love for now as a bridge of incidents to a better job. Like if you're desperate for the cash right now and affirming for cash isn't happening, go and take that job for a little while and see it as like, this is temporary. It's a bridge of incidents to my real job, to my career. Nothing's set in stone, guys. You can change it in any moment. But I would really be affirming that you've got the job of your dreams, you've got the money, the income that you need, all that stuff. But also see if you need to do it just for temporarily for now, take the job, take the money for now and be affirming whilst working. I earn so much money. I'm in my dream job and then a new job will come about. Trust me. For my SP to contact me in my life, do I affirm I'm the only one he thinks of or he thinks of me? Either way, darling. You can say I'm the only one, but that kind of implies that you think you're not the only one. Like there's a whole lot of there's a third party or there's other girls who are threat thinking. I would do a whole lot of I am chosen, I am wanted, I am lovable, I am more than good enough, I am the girlfriend affirmations about yourself, darling. What's this? That's a good point, Loz. I always hold back. What will hold back for what? What was I talking about? Amber, what do you think about people say that your body will let you know if it likes your someone or not? As in, if it doesn't, then your pH will be thrown off. What? I think if you like someone, your pH will be thrown off. I've never heard such a thing. I know that certain people's pheromones really get me going, and if I don't like their smell, that's interesting to me. I'm really attracted to smell, but I don't know about the pH stuff. If you want to believe in that, darling, it'll be true for you. So if that's your belief that my pH is going to decide, then it'll decide for you. I'm still feeling so good from SP saying he loved me and calling me my old nickname my birthday Sunday. Yay! We haven't talked since, but I know he can't stop thinking about me, and his fave cousin was on my IG. Oh, Miss Mitchell, it's only Wednesday or Tuesday. Don't worry about it. Love it, darling. Having lots of signs and birds of all that. Wonderful, darling. I had a bad dream about SP, but I literally woke up affirming against it. Still felt off for a bit, but I just kept affirming. Is it okay to feel off for a bit up? Something like that. Yes, guys, it's just a fucking dream. It's just your old thoughts purging out. The shitty dreams I have. Don't even worry about it. SP told me he misses me and loves me, but today he asked me if I'm seeing someone. I told him no, that I don't want anyone else. And he said, what if I meet someone? What does that reflect about self-concept, that you feel unchosen by him, that you feel that other girls are a threat, that you feel he doesn't want you? That you feel like this isn't going to work, that you don't see yourselves together. Is there a whole lot of that thinking going on? Or you used to think that and now it's playing out? Got to really do the I'm chosen stuff. Have you let friends or family go when your self-concept changed? I don't resonate with a lot of people anymore. Draining. That's what it was like with this friend yesterday. I sat there. I took 5 hours of it and I was like, after 5 hours, I was like, I literally can't stand this anymore. And also a whole lot of people were having a whole lot of COVID vaccination conversation at the table at one point, and I just sat there going, I just went mute because I thought I don't want to engage in this conversation. Right? There are times when I'll just mute out of a conversation because I'm just like, I don't resonate with any of you, so I'm just not going to say anything. There's no point trying to change people, guys. And some people are emotionally draining, especially if you've attracted a whole lot of victims and you've been an empath and you've been the one giving advice and listening and you've been the one giving a lot, you'll be drained by a whole lot of people because in your reality they were like that before. So you got to see them differently. I couldn't be bothered seeing this girl differently. I was had too much champagne yesterday, but seriously, if they drain you, just step away for a little while and then see them differently and they'll change. Going on my self-concept hard, men I don't even know at work are saying, hey, Chelsea, as we pass the hallway. Oh, love it, Chelsea. Loz, I love you, my God. Oh, you must have had a great self-concept. Oh, you must have a great self-concept. Well, I try, darling, but there are days when I really don't. I don't want to say that, but what do I need to work on if circumstances keep arising? What keep talking to my husband? Oh, that keep taking my husband away from me and him not choosing me over other things. Okay, so what do I need to work on if circumstances keep arising that keep taking my husband away from me and him not choosing me? Well, it's just you're not a priority and I'm not chosen. So I'm not a priority. I'm not chosen. I'm not good enough for you. You don't love me enough. You don't prioritize me. Everything else in your life is more important than me. This circumstance is more important. We're never going to be together. It's all that kind of thinking. Whether it's his job's a priority, your kids are a priority, his family doesn't like you, there's a third party, whatever the fuck it is, that's a whole lot of I'm not chosen. I don't get the relationship. So what were you thinking during the relationship that caused the relationship to break down when he left? They're the insecure thoughts you need to change. Write them all down, every single insecure, fearful thought you had during the marriage. Then you'll see what your self-concept is. And every single one of those, swap them. My body isn't good enough for him now that I've had kids. He loves my body no matter what it looks like. He thinks my curves are beautiful. He loves how curvy I am now. Things like that. Whatever you're insecure about, flip it. And then stop thinking the circumstances are a problem. They're not. They're just you finding reasons why it's not going to work, why he's not going to come back. And really work on the I'm chosen shit. Go and do my sleep tapes, please. Love your channel. Found you a week ago. Oh, thanks, Cynthia. Part 2. Where's part 1? Oh, Loz. Oh, and he doesn't help me financially with things that I need to get done in our life. I feel like I'm always left to do important tasks alone. Okay, so darling, you've got a whole lot of I'm not chosen stuff. I'm not good enough to even be paid for. Our kids aren't paid for, or blah, 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 blah. That's a whole lot of I'm not good enough. You've really got to work on that. They'll reflect that back. They won't pay for you. They won't give you gifts. The way my dad used to treat my mum, he would give her like a gift that was like a vacuum cleaner, just stuff for the house, never anything romantic. He just treated her like she was the housekeeper, right? If you get treated like that, that's about you. I'm not good enough to even be loved and romanced and prioritized and paid for and I want you to get yourself to queen status, darling, and bring him right down off the pedestal and put yourself up there. And then he'll treat you accordingly. I'm treated so beautifully now. He pays for everything for me. He prioritizes me and our family. He pays for everything he needs to pay for. My fiance just called things off on Sunday and I'm in a shambles. I'm new to all this. Where do I start? Oh, Donald, darling. Oh, God. Okay. Look, when you got engaged or before you got engaged, were there any insecure thoughts you were having that you can identify right now and tell me on the live what they were? Because that's why it played out the way it did. So either you got engaged because you were pushing it in the 3D and he got engaged to you because you felt you need to lock him down, or that wasn't the case at all. You naturally, beautifully got engaged. It was all romantic, everything. And then since then, you've had a whole lot of insecure thinking, like, why is this engagement taking so long? Why haven't we got married yet? What does this mean? What's going on? Doesn't he love me, or whatever the fuck was going on? Or he's prioritizing work now, or since we got engaged, we don't spend as much time together, or I don't feel he's as invested as me, or I keep talking about the wedding and he doesn't, or why doesn't he want to talk about the wedding? What? See what I'm saying? What were you thinking? Then that played out. Or it was already happening before you even got engaged, and now it's played out. Like, he doesn't love me. He doesn't love me as much as I love him. What thinking were you having? You've got to reverse all of that and change all of that, and I bet investigate what in that says anything about my self-concept. And it's probably a whole lot of I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough, I can't trust you, you're not going to give me the love I need, this is never going to work out thinking. What is it? And then you got to affirm against that. And then see you and him back together. Whatever it is fully resolved. You're back together and better than ever. Imagine your wedding day. Imagine your wedding. Imagine you walking down the aisle. Imagine him seeing you as you walk down the aisle. Imagine your honeymoon. Imagine your first child. All that stuff. And that's going to the end of it's done. We got re-engaged. We got married. We're a family. It's done. You really need to concentrate on that, but you also need to concentrate on what self-concept caused it to break down. Make sense? Tell me what insecure thoughts you're having, John. Hi, Lois. Love all your content, and I'm feeling a lot better about myself. But do you think we can hold ourselves back continually watching content and overthinking or overtrying? Look, if you watch too much content and don't do, if you're doing a lot of listening and a lot of doing, it's not helpful. I want you to watch the content, guys, and then affirm. I don't want you just sitting watching the fucking content. No. Loz, the dog my son is watching that got out the backyard yesterday was found today. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Loz, for sharing what to affirm for the safe return. I persisted all day and night. Oh, great, Jamila. Wonderful. Oh, you're German chocolates. Oh, I remember you telling me. Oh, that's great, darling. Oh. Everyone's lost animals on here always get found. It's amazing. Is it okay to affirm a different desire to have less resistance with your SP as long as you're not having negative thoughts towards them? Is it okay to affirm a different desire to have less resistance with your SP as long as you're not having negative thoughts towards them? I don't really mean that. You mean, are you talking about you're kind of bringing down your desire a couple of levels, like you wanted marriage, but now you don't feel like that's possible, so you're just saying girlfriend? Is that what you're talking about? I don't really understand that question, darling. Yeah, you don't want to be having negative thoughts towards them, but what's causing the resistance? What resistant thought are you having? What is a different desire you need? Why do you feel you need to change the desire? Is it because it's not turning up the way you want, so you feel like you need to change it because what you want is impossible? Is that what you're talking about? Bianca, just explain that. I don't understand. I noticed I have a fear that I would have changed my thoughts, but my SP doesn't conform. I have to believe the 3P is nothing. Sometimes I think, what if they like them? But no, he's for me and only me. Look, guys, you will think, what if they like them? You've just got to banish that shit immediately. Any thoughts you have about them together, immediately banish them. Please, you've just got to keep on top of it. Hi, Lisa. Lost so much good has happened. I wrote it at the start of this live. Oh, shit, Lisa. I'll go back right at the end. Last few days have been shaky. SP got his jacket Friday as suggested, affirmed he left it on purpose. Today I checked 3P. Why? And I got so upset because I know I'm the best option. I don't get it. It fires me out. Well, why are you fucking looking, Whitney? Why are you looking at her? You're meant to imagine she doesn't exist and then you're going and checking her. You're keeping her alive. You're literally breathing life into the bitch every time you look at her socials. It's exactly what I tell you not to do. Don't fucking look at it. Imagine she doesn't exist. God damn it. Block her so you can't look at it. You say stop allowing and accepting shit you don't want. So if I command my thoughts right now that I want SP, where is he? Mia, apparently you think this is magic or something. Oh, it's my brother. Hey, I'm on a live. Can I call you back in a bit? Is that all right? I'll call you back in about 15 minutes. Okay. All right, bye. Mia, apparently you think this is magic. Where is he? I'm sorry, this is not the channel for you, darling. You've been listening to some LOA or something. Apparently you think just commanding your thoughts right now is going to be magic, is it? That's not how this shit works. You've been watching some Sammy Ingram or something that everything instantaneously happens, but apparently working on your self-concept and changing your thinking isn't needed. I love Sammy, but there's a whole lot of this. If you just command, it'll come true in 6 months, 6 days, because Neville says 6 days. Neville says 3 days. No, he doesn't. Guys, it's not magic. Mia, have you bothered to change your self-concept? So you're not allowing shit in your 3D that you don't want. Great. But if you bothered to change you, have you done any self-concept work that's going to be reflecting out into this 3D you don't want to accept? You cannot accept the 3D all you like and command the 3D all you like. But if you don't change you, you're continuously reflecting the old you out. So you're constantly going to have to command a new 3D, but you haven't bothered to change you at all. So it's continuing to show up the way you don't want because it's reflecting you. Who you been listening to? You clearly haven't been watching me. Fuck's sake. That's a whole lot of, I've been listening to some LOA morons or something who said you can get it in 17 seconds. Where is he? Well, I don't know. Have you been working your self-concept? Have you changed you? Are you seeing you and him together? Or are you just commanding shit thinking that's going to magically work? Tell me. Tell me what you've been doing, Mia. Who the fuck you been listening to? Loz, I'm feeling like I'm going between two different states. One is Queen and my pedestal, very confident. He is chasing me. And the second is in a happy relationship, but I'm a bit more confident, but okay. Well, that's all right. If you're up on a throne, he's chasing you. Can't you be in the relationship in your mind at the same time? But you can feel chased and be in a relationship. Or you can just feel chased or feel in a relationship. It doesn't matter if you alternate between the two. What's wrong with that? That's fine. I manifested him, laugh my ass off. He has all my traits. Okay, well, but I'm asking you, why are you picking a person who's fucking taken? And why are you falling in love with him within a week? You barely know the fucking dude. No offense. In a week, you're in love with him. He's your dream man. Have you done this before? Oh, my Christmas come at once. He's my dream person. I barely know him, but he's my dream man. I asked you, what happened to you in childhood? Why are you doing that? Why are you falling in love with them in a week? And why are you choosing a person who can't choose you? You haven't answered me. I'm feeling like these two should be combined. Sorry, probably silly question. Well, combine it then. He puts me on a pedestal. I'm so wifey to him. He loves having me as his wife. He loves to show me off. He's constantly doing things to me, chasing me. Even when we're married, he's chasing me and pursuing me and taking me on dates. Combine it then, if it confuses you. So many people have stories that sound like they just feel like they can't have what they want. Yes, guys. Stop saying you can't have what you want. I manifested my parents getting a cat for my brother who is on the spectrum and struggles with anxiety. Mind you, they hate cats, but they saw how great my cat is for me and decided to get him one. Oh, lovely. Oh, they'll love the cat in the end. That's wonderful, darling. Just assume they're going to love the cat. That's great. Just imagine it calms him. It's like his little spirit animal. It's his little emotional support animal, and he loves it, and it calms him. Hi, Loz. I have a different person reflecting what I want from ISP. I'm not specific enough, or Birds for Land. It's just Birds for Land, darling. Don't worry. It's working, so don't worry. Don't freak out and think it's not working. Hello, Loz from Montreal, Canada. Hello. Just learned about you by YouTube. Oh, you're my favourite law of assumption coach on these YouTube streets. Oh, thanks so much. Too bad, no more one-to-one coaching. You're hella funny too. Oh, thanks, Divine Manifesto. Sorry, guys. Look, the one-to-one coaching was very, very stressful on me, just emotionally. Someone was asking me yesterday, well, why did you stop doing them? I just found I'm not a trained psych, and a lot of what I was doing on the calls was very psychology based, and I emotionally couldn't separate. And I would get off the calls and be very upset, and I just found them extremely draining. So I need to find a better way for me to cope with them, and I think group coaching would be better, and the courses. But thank you, darling. I wrote out my old story, heartbreaking, and a few bad days, so rough. Today I woke up with new story, firmly planted, feeling amazing. I purged all bad stuff out, and now I'm having a genuine new beginning. Oh, wonderful, Carla! Do you think it's more effective to record sleep affirmations in your own voice versus record it? Well, do it, darling. Try it. If they're really specific to you, they'll really help. So do your own. See if it makes a difference. But I thought circumstances don't matter. They don't. So should I just assign the meaning that my SP stopped messaging me because he was spamming me so much he didn't want to be clingy because he's just madly in love with me? Yes, Rose. He doesn't want to fuck it up. He doesn't want to look too clingy. That's why. Give a good meaning. Or he fell down a well. Can I say, for example, John told me he's in love with me? Yes. Yes, guys. Whatever you want them to say, imagine they've said it. Loz, how can we not feel overwhelmed when the outside world feels like it's falling apart, the government, climate change, COVID, the economy, food supply, etc.? Really? Is that how it feels to you? I've not even noticed any of this happening. That's how much of a bubble I'm in my own world. People were talking about it yesterday, and I don't even know what they were talking about. Why do you know what they're talking about? Why are you talking about it? Why are you watching the news? Why are you reading papers? Why are you getting in discussions with people about it? The world is always falling apart, darling. If it wasn't this, it'd be the Iraqi war. If it wasn't this, it would be the Afghani war. If it wasn't this, it was climate change. If it wasn't this, it was the HPV virus running rampant in teenage girls. If it wasn't this, it would. There's always something going on. The world is always falling apart. They love to tell you the world's falling apart. It's always been falling apart. If you watch the news enough and read the paper enough, it's always falling apart. They don't tell you the good stuff, do they? They don't go half bad news, half good news. They give you one nice news story at the end to perk you up after they just put the fear hour in your mind for an hour. Stop fucking watching it. Stop saying it's falling apart and it won't. The world isn't falling apart in my world. My world's great because I don't take notice of that. Stop listening to it, talking about it, engaging in it. Ignore it. I already wrote the new story. Do I need to write out the old one? No, guys, look, if you're already concentrating on the new story and you don't feel you need to write the old one, then don't if you don't want to. My keyboard is dreaming. I was trying to write, having a lot of bezel. Oh, what have I done? If I had some bad days, does that mean it's not working? No, guys, we all have bad days. We're human beings, for God's sake. Won't mess it up. I now have 100% faith that I'll get my SP, but I sway between knowing I'll have it and I have it now. Does knowing I'll have it in the future okay? Yes, that's fine, darling. Right. Then living the end of marriage, but also daily I do inner combos of him wanting to come back. That's fine, darling. Look, as long as it doesn't seem clunky in your mind, do it however you want. Do it in steps. He's coming back. Imagine you're married. Look, guys, as long as it's not clunky in your own mind, I'm not in your mind to know. Been listening to your sleep affirmation tape since last live, focusing on me, loving myself. Wonderful, rebel. Hi, Loz. Saw a coach on TikTok that say we shouldn't say our SP is miserable without us, especially if the reason we broke up was because they were depressed. This concerned me a bit as I'm trying to recreate how I see him, not depressed anymore and ready for commitment. And for a while, I've been saying this, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Well, if you don't want them as depressed, then yeah, don't say they're miserable. If you want them just to be happy and happy with you, then don't say that. But guys, you can do whatever you want. It depends who you're listening to. Like if you were thrown by that, don't listen to that person, okay? If they are already deeply depressed and your affirmations were they get even more depressed without me, well, that's pretty cruel and also not going to help the situation, is it? Because he might be so depressed he ends up in a psych ward and then you're like, well, how's this help me? See you and them together and you're happy together. Then you don't have to worry about him changing his mental state. He's ready for me. We're so blissfully, happily together. That implies he's not depressed. If you're trying to recreate him, then do. But that's got nothing to do with him being depressed or saying he's depressed. You weren't saying he was depressed. You weren't focusing on him being horribly depressed without you. So what are you worried about? You're seeing him as committed to you and ready. So that's good. Do that. Is the affirmation, I'm the only girl he's in love with here and he has eyes for me and only me. I'm the only one. I'm his only one and only baby mama good? Well, yeah, darling, but you're working on your self-concept. That's great. But that's a whole lot of I'm not chosen. I'm not good enough. I'm worried about other girls. I'm threatened by other women. There's another baby mama I'm really threatened by in that affirmation. Is there another baby mama? I can read it in the affirmation. You got to work on it. I'm chosen. I am loved. I am the chosen one about yourself. Because saying all that still implies that there's another person and you're threatened by them in the affirmation. You can say it all you like, but you need to work on your self-concept as to why there's another baby mama in the picture in the first place and why he's not choosing you. See? How do we tell him how he feels? I've been having inner combos, doing the sleep tapes, affirmations, wrote out old story and burned it, wrote out the new story. What else do I need to do? Focus on you. Look, guys, you're telling them how to feel by how you feel about you. I am chosen. I am so lovable. Everyone falls in love with me instantly. I'm everyone's favorite person. That tells him how to feel about you. Even just working on your self-concept tells him how to feel about you. You're the chosen one now. You know you're lovable. You know you're sexy and hot and the hottest girl in any room. You know that everyone looks at you. You know that everyone pays you attention. You know you're mesmerizing and captivating and enough. That's reflecting back to him and he'll reflect it to you. And then you can say, he loves me. He thinks I'm mesmerizing, captivating. He's captivated by me. He only sees me as his one and only, blah, blah, blah. But it's also what you think about you guys. Thank you. Sending love from Manila. Oh, he's totally in love with me. I'm his favorite person in the world. Love that. My SP said he can only be friends because his ex-wife doesn't want me with their kid, but we are so happy together. So now he has put a wall up. What can I do? Stop thinking of the ex-wife as a problem. Stop thinking she hates you. Stop thinking she's going to put a spanner in the works. Stop thinking she's an obstacle, and she won't be. She loves me. She loves me spending time with her children. She loves me and him together because it means she gets a break. She actually likes me now. We get along so well. We actually get along like a house on fire. I remember when she didn't like me. I see SP and I as a power couple. We just make sense. Everyone keeps saying stop waiting for him. In a year, I've created a third party. We never dated because my shitty thoughts. I just want to thrive together. Well, darling, forget what anyone else says and you just do what you're doing. That's good. Just get rid of that third party, please, in your mind. Met a guy that's physically how I affirmed. He even has a puppy that's the same breed as my own dogs, but he has a girlfriend. And met a guy, yeah, and where's the rest? And, well, darling, just see you and him together. Don't worry about the girlfriend. Banish her from your mind, please. He assumes I know how I feel. Yes. I need a shirt that says, see you next Tuesday. If time is passing, is it sometimes just the seed growing, or should we keep digging into ourselves for negative beliefs? Guys, it's just time passing. But yes, do assess what your negative beliefs are that might be causing it to take more time if you've got a whole lot of shitty negative beliefs. Is being envious, jealous of other people's seemingly well-to-do lives a form of limiting belief, since we are the operant power of our reality? We can have anything we desire. Look, you could look at other people's lives and think, well, why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? Or look at it as like, well, I'm next. I'm surrounded by affluence. I'm surrounded with beautiful, happy couples. This is going to be me. Depends how you look at it, guys. If you feel not good enough and you think that's a reflection of I don't have enough, everyone has it but me, that won't help you hang around with those people. See yourself as up there with them. My SP texted me the other night and asked if my lips were busy because he wanted a kiss. I thought it was cute and said okay, but then he said never mind, he was tired. Oh no, darling. Don't worry about that. If you've got some old thinking that he doesn't want you, or he's hot and cold, or he pulls away, that might be what that is, darling. Just to see him as coming towards you all the time and kissing you all the time. Plus, if I remember how wonderful he was in the beginning, but when I do miss him badly, do I just keep affirming that he is that person now? Yes, guys. If they're wonderful in the beginning, they're them now. See them as that person now. He admitted it was a test. We'll just say he plays with me like a little kid. He's so immature sometimes emotionally. That's all it is. He loves me so much. He's just playing with me because he loves me so much. He's embarrassed by how much he loves me. Say that to him. Thanks, pretty. Why did it say okay? What do you mean, darling? What was I talking about? What can I say? Affirmations like John told me he loves me. Yes, darling. That's great. Loz, how can I ignore the 3D? And we've been applying for a dream job for 2 months while working on self-concept, but this week I was bombarded with rejection emails. Don't worry, guys. See it as a bridge of incidents. See it as my best job is coming, or one of those jobs is mine, or it doesn't matter how many rejections I get the job of my dreams. Don't read into that as rejection. It's like being rejected from ESP. It's the same thing. You see yourself together. You don't see yourself as rejected by them. Don't see yourself as rejected by the job. See yourself with the job. What if I'm in love with my friend and my other friend said, it's a bad idea because it will ruin my friendship, make it awkward? Darling, first of all, stop discussing it with your friend. It's not their business. Secondly, they're just reflecting your fears that will happen. Thirdly, it's reflecting your fears that you're not good enough and you'll never be the girlfriend. And so they're saying, oh, you're just going to be friends. It'll make it awkward. Don't do that. So see you as the girlfriend, not friend zoning yourself. I am the girlfriend. He loves me so sexually now. He thinks sexual thoughts about me all the time. He has such romantic feelings for me. He sees me and him together. And work on your I'm not chosen stuff so you do feel like the girlfriend. I moved to another country and I met a guy that's physically how I affirmed. I saw that one. What's the question, Don? What therapy did you do, Loz? It's called schema therapy. Currently shouting in my living room, pretending I'm telling my friend about Christmas with SP. It was amazing. Oh, I love that, Simone. Part 1. SP was being super affectionate 3 weeks ago when he was asking to talk to me again and saying he would prove to me, blah, 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 loves only me, I'm his baby, etc. We haven't seen each other since 2 weeks. Okay, where's part 2? I can't see part 2. I can only see part 3. Calling me man and bro, I've been affirming, but lately I've been feeling exhausted to affirm for him. He's also being super cocky. What are some affirmations also can use him to stop him being cocky? So if you're being cocky and treating you like the friend, all of a sudden, it's because somehow you put him on the pedestal in between him coming towards you and then now you put him on the pedestal, or you feel like now he's got you, he's going to act all coy and cocky and he doesn't have to pursue anymore because he's got you now. Have you got an assumption about that? Okay, or have you got an assumption he's not attracted to you anymore, he was just playing games, or that was just a one-off? What's your assumption there about why it's changed? Okay, and then really work on the I'm chosen, and who cares what he said, that he's just playing games with me, he's just playing hard to get because he's so fucking in love with me, he's trying to play coy because he was so full on at the beginning, he's a bit embarrassed. Give it that meaning, darling. How can we stop seeing months of no contact as an obstacle? Because you've got to start realizing that no separation, there is no separation. No contact doesn't matter. You're constantly in telepathic conversations with them. You're constantly sending thought out to them. You were sending thought out to them when you were together. That's how it ended up breaking up. Your thoughts went into their mind that caused the breakup. So the same thing happens even if you're in no contact. If you can't understand that, then you'll fuck this up by thinking it doesn't matter what I do, he can't hear me, he's not going to change, nothing's going to change, because you're not understanding that you sent the thoughts out in the first place. I've been focusing on is I'm happily married with the man I want, with my dogs here in my new home. That's wonderful, Guillermo. That's great. That's exactly what you have, that visualization of your dogs there, sitting on the couch with your SP, married, look at your ring. That's beautiful. And have affirmation to that. I'm finding my new story is my dominant thoughts now. Wonderful, Nat. A few old thoughts creep in. That's fine, but don't last. I'm not reacting in the heat of the moment with the ex. Wonderful, darling. I affirmed free fuel this week. My sister-in-law borrowed my car yesterday and she filled the car up. Oh! Yes, he was nervous to kiss you because he loves you so much. Exactly. Friend zone. Question manifested my ex after 2 years of no contact. Texting 7 months as if we're digital pen pals, lol. Affirmations him finally call, get out of the friend zone. I am the girlfriend. He sees me as more than just a friend. He's so sexually attracted to me. He has thoughts about me he can't understand. He's romantic with me. He's always sending me beautiful memes and little things that are so romantic and sweet. He's so sweet and romantic with me now. I'm the girlfriend in his eyes. Okay, and then work on the I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough shit of your own self-concept. I keep affirming when 3D triggers me, but I can't shake the pit of my stomach. Okay, well, darling, look, you've just got to keep at it. Sometimes your pit of your stomach is just your brain fighting you. Keep going. Got to keep going, guys. Got to push through. Oh my gosh, Loz, now I'm getting confused by this Q&A because my SP would never commit to me and we were basically together for 3 years. Yes, that's because of your self-concept and your thoughts about him and your thoughts about relationships. What's your question? What are you confused about? If you're with someone and they wouldn't commit to you and you were basically together for 3 years, that's all about your self-concept, Rachel, feeling not chosen, not good enough and not loved by them, and that relationships never work out for you, so it didn't. What are you confused about? What's your question, darling? Just learned about you, Loz. Please don't come for me. I know you're fire. Thank you, darling. Your chosen sleep tape is making me wake up a bit sad, lol, but been getting up, watering the grass in the sun in my face and affirmations playing in my ear. Oh, wonderful, darling. Look, because sometimes, guys, it can make you feel a bit sad, the affirmations, because it's just reiterating what you didn't feel for a while. May I ask how long it took you to manifest wavy hair? It only took me a couple of weeks, I think, because if you look at my lives, maybe a month over my lives, it started getting wavy. If you look at my first lives, it's very straight. And then by about maybe live 20 or something, it started going wavy. I don't know, I can't remember the number, but probably about a month. People are never hot and cold with me, just hotter and hotter. That's great, Terry. I want to move in with my SP to his house. What affirmations can I use for that? He loves having he loves having me at home with him. His home is home now because I'm there. It's only a home when I'm there. His house is empty when I'm not there. He loves living with me. Not a question, but if I want to thank you for everything you do, you are very much appreciated. Oh, I want to thank you. Oh, thank you, Nick. You're so welcome. That's so lovely. I want to manifest the man I was telling you about as a supporting husband that tells me to stay with him in his country. Oh, fuck, it just jumped. God damn it. Yes, just see you and him in his country together, darling, as a husband. You and him together wherever you want to be with him. Oh, God damn it. Where's it gone? Yay. When are your courses coming out? Don't know, guys. The new year, I promise. I would say February at this point. Hi, Dear Diva. I was in the same, but you can revise even if it doesn't join or is present good. It's very healing. Imagine him as wanting you to be, you move on with no bad feelings subconsciously. Oh, I don't know what you're talking about there. Does anyone have advice against spiraling, getting triggered? How do you deal with such feelings? Go and do my anti-anxiety meditation tape, darling, in my YouTube, the Let Your Fears Go. Okay, use those affirmations like I don't let my fears run me. I'm in full control of the feelings I feel. I'm in control now. I know it's my fears. I don't let them overtake me. Do those affirmations when you're spiraling, darling. And just know that this too shall pass, okay? I feel like we're all making manifesting way more complicated than it is. It's empowering fun. Hi, Loz. My ex broke up with me end of September. My first love broke up with me 2 years ago. Is it possible to manifest them both back? They both blocked me. They told me beforehand. Look, Shannon, you can manifest them both back. It's not a problem. You just got to see yourself as the most lovable girl and that they both love you. You've really got to work on that self-concept, darling, of being abandoned or left if it's an abandonment thing or rejected. Which one is it, rejected or abandoned? Were you abandoned as a kid, or do you feel not good enough and you're going to get rejected? It's one of the two. You need to work on that. How can I completely ignore the 3 days? Sometimes you can't, guys. Sometimes you've just got to accept it. It's almost impossible sometimes to completely ignore it. What's a good affirmation to make my parents support me in everything I do? They support me in everything I do. My parents love everything I do. They want me to be happy. They just want me to be happy. They're so supportive now. I remember when they weren't supportive. Is it true our dominant state manifests? Yes, darling, look at your life. Is it a shit show? Is it producing what you dominantly used to think? Ta-da, you did that. Should I flip negative thoughts or ignore them? You can't ignore them, darling. They'll just stay there until you give them something else to think. You have to fill it in with a new thought, otherwise they'll just keep coming up. You can't have a black hole in your mind. You can't take the thought away and just be like, oh, I'm just going to ignore that thought. Okay, well, what are you going to think instead? You can try and ignore it, but good luck with that. If in doubt, do self-concept. Yes, Liza. Would it be better to just accept the 3D but affirm that I still get what I want? Yes, darling. Accept the 3D and I still get what I want. Absolutely. Someone said your thoughts don't create your reality. Your entire state of being does. What do you think of her statement? Yes, guys, but how do you create your entire state of being? By your thoughts, which then become beliefs, which then form your state of being. Who's this fuckwit you've been listening to? Of course, it's your state of being. You've been listening to Maria or some fuckwit who's trying to get video views by being controversial by saying your thoughts don't manifest. Well, sorry, bitch, but I can have a thought like that and it will manifest because I thought it dominantly for a couple of minutes. How about that? Guys, your thoughts create your state. Everything comes from your thinking. If anyone's telling you, oh, it's your feelings, oh, it's your beliefs, oh, it's your state of being, yes, I know, but how did you get to that fucking point, you dumb bitch? Oh, because of my thoughts, which form my state of being. Because of my dominant, habitual, subconscious thinking I had since a child that formed the state of being I now have, which I have to change with new thinking to form a new state of being. Who is this fuckwit you've been listening to? Yes, they're right, but how do you form a new state of being? What, you just wake up zen in the morning? I'm in a new state of being. Bing! Do we listen to some dumb bitch like Maria who says, revise everything? Well, shit, Maria, I'm going to be here all fucking day revising every single solitary thought I ever had as a child, every incident, some of which I can't fucking remember because they were traumatic, and that's a trauma response, a coping mechanism, me not actually being able to remember my childhood. So how the fuck am I going to revise it if I can't remember it? But apparently I have to remember it all and revise it all to be in this new state of being. But new thinking is not going to help me. Well, apparently you don't understand that revising is new thinking. So it's all thinking. If anyone's telling you revising you need to do because it's all revision, well, sorry, that's also new thinking, isn't it? If anyone tells you it's your state of being, well, how do you get into the state of being? Oh, by new thinking. Oh, if anyone tells you affirmations don't work, but visualizations do, well, I'm sorry, don't you have to think while visualizing? Who are these dumb fuckwits? Your brain thinks first, guys, then everything happens after that. Feelings, beliefs, state of being, revision, it's all thought related. Then it forms your state of being, then it forms your belief, then it forms the visualization, then it forms the revision scene that you have in your mind. Oh, yeah. Can you do a video on the concept of how 3D always conforms? I think it's reassuring to know you'll get it with no doubt if you persist, more specifically for an SP overcoming circumstances. It always conforms. I can do a video on that, guys, but I don't want to mislead people and say it'll always conform if you change your thinking. But you really have to change your thinking, guys. A lot of people blow smoke up your ass and say, oh, you just have to think new thoughts and it will suddenly conform. But are they changing? Are they getting rid of all the old thoughts? Are they getting rid of the old story? I will do a video on it, but I don't like the word conform because I think it's very misleading. I think people are thinking it like a magic wand and everything's going to change. That's not what's happening. It's reflecting from you. So if you don't change you, it won't change. But I'll do a video on it because I think the word confirmation, like conforming and then conforming, is confusing a lot of people about how this actually works. And that's why they're not working on their self-concept, and that's why they're not seeing their 3D reflecting their new thinking, because they haven't changed themselves, because they're waiting for the 3D to change rather than changing them and it reflecting out. They're thinking, this is going to conform at some point. I'm just going to sit here and wait for it to change. That's not how it works. That's what I'll do a video about. Because I think a lot of people are very confused about how this fucking the whole process works. Question logs. I keep meeting men, even if they say they're coming for coffee, they have their pants around their ankles before I've even made it. It's horrifying. Okay. So, Yvonne, were you abused as a child, sexually abused as a child? Could be that. Were you abused in some way as a child, like mistreated in a way that wasn't sexual, but mistreated or emotionally abused in some way? Or were you made to feel not good enough in some way, and so somehow being sexual with men was your worth at some point? Like your body became the asset that you had and they weren't in love with your personality, they just used you and you always felt used? Is it that? Or do you deep down just deeply feel not good enough and that's what you feel you have to offer, or you feel that's what people will want from you, and doesn't matter what you do, what doesn't matter how you set up the date, if it's coffee or not, they'll still want that. That's all men want from me, is your dominant assumption. And so it doesn't matter how the date is set up or how platonic it seems, it'll still turn out that way. And that's a whole lot of I'm not good enough to be the girlfriend thinking, I'm not chosen, I just get used thinking. And that's a whole lot of I'm not good enough. That's your self-concept being reflected out. So what happened to you as a child that makes you think you're not good enough, darling, to be the girlfriend? That's what's happening there. I've had quite a traumatic childhood. I know I have trust issues due to both my parents. I've accepted that, but it always crawls back and ruins my relationships. Well, Shannon, then you've just got to work on, I can trust everyone now. I used to be that girl. I'm not that girl anymore. I'm not going to let my childhood run me. At some point, guys, you've got to wake up one day and decide that whatever happened in your childhood is not going to run you anymore. You've just got to take the reins and think, okay, that was me and that happened to me, but that doesn't define me. It's what happened to me. There's what happened to me and me. And what happened to me doesn't define who I am. You've really got to make that conscious choice to not let that ruin your adulthood. Really step into that girl, Shannon, who doesn't let that ruin her anymore. Really consciously do that. I finally muted my story from SP because I was so obsessed checking if she'd watch it. That was my drug, if he'd watch it. Yeah, well, guys, please don't do that. Don't check if they watch it. If you revise any arguments with SP, there's a peace, harmony, and peace. Yes, revise any arguments, guys, and it'll bring a peace to you, absolutely. Thanks, Amber. Yes, it's hard. I don't know why. Maybe not feeling chosen by my mum and all the stuff in my childhood, like being the black sheep of the family. Yeah, if you feel like that, guys, then you'll not be chosen by your SP either, because you feel like you'll never be chosen because something wrong with you. You're different. I've been working on self-concept, got triggered the other day, but I can tell I'm getting way better. Love this law. Oh, wonderful, Laurie. That's great. Well, that's progress, don't. Question, Loz. Any advice on how to find time to affirm during the day when you have a busy schedule? As a healthcare worker, it's a bit hard to find time to affirm. Do you go to the toilet? Do you have a lunch break? When you're putting in people's cannulas or something, can you do it while you're in your head? Can you do it as you're walking through the corridor in your head? Can you do it as you're driving to work, driving home from work, sitting on the train at work, to work? All those times. All those times. And then do the sleep affirmations at night as well. I could tell you were drained by the calls. Yeah, I was. It was killing me. I got to the end, and when I saw another month ahead of calls, I was like, by the end of it, I was like, I can't do this anymore. Because they were booked 2 months in ahead. And when it got to the last month of calls, I couldn't do it. I'd done too many in a week. I'm watching this with my cat. Oh, lovely, Nazni. Nazni, that's lovely. What should I do with the Christmas gifts I got SP? We broke up on Friday. I keep them knowing we'll be together again or get rid of them. Darling, imagine you're going to be together. Imagine you're going to give it to him. And if not, you'll give it to him after Christmas when you're back together. Okay? Just don't throw them away. Imagine you're going to be back together. Revise the breakup only happened just on Friday. Revise the whole thing. Imagine you didn't say what he said. He didn't say what he said. And imagine your Christmas together exchanging gifts, okay? Literally 3 months after watching her, he shows up. I was like, LOA guinea pig. I slept with him on day one. After 3 weeks, seriously, what the fuck was wrong with me? I can't believe myself. What are you talking about, Esty? Oh, about the jail guy. Hi, Loz. Just subscribe and love your energy. Oh, thanks, Sunshine42. Working on self-concept really helps. I actually used to feel guilty myself over the same thing. Loves lots of sleep tapes. Are so much. They're awesome for this. Yeah, I do the sleep tapes. You may as well. You're going to be asleep. I absolutely love when you say he felt unwell. Listen to your 8-hour affirmations today and cry because of gratitude and feeling great. Oh, great, Nikki. So if I catch myself thinking SP doesn't care about me, just change my thought to what I want to keep doing that until it sticks, comes out to yes, you've got to think they care about you. You've got to think they care about you, darling. Just get rid of any thoughts that they don't. Hi, Loz. Always had great self-concept. One, SP triggers me. We were friends with benefits. I wanted more and he got a dog and now he's gone so cold, hardly hear from him. I feel like he never used to feel this way before. Okay, Hayley, you can say you've got great self-concept, but you are in friends with benefits and you want more. Well, your self-concept can't be that great because why are you in a situation where you're not being chosen by him? Can't be that great. And it can't be that great when you're thinking the dog is causing him to go cold or spending more time with the dog, you feel not a priority and not chosen, even about the dog. The dog's going to take him away from you or something. You've really got to work on the I am chosen, I'm enough, I'm the priority shit. Okay. I stopped watching TV last year. I'd stopped social media only for your stuff, Loz. I need to top up and love success stories. Yes. Guys, I only use the social media for happy groups. Like, that's why I don't have questions on the main page of my Facebook group, because you've got a self-concept community, Kim's group, and I love Kim, but it's quite depressing because there's a lot of circumstances and old story on that page. I want my group to be happy. Hi, Loz. I don't know. He matches all my traits that I wrote down. I was feeling so good when I met him. I do feel like the best damn option, honestly. He has all my traits. If I'm chosen, it should work. Yes, but stop fucking pushing it, darling. Just imagine you and him together and stop thinking that it's not going to work because of the circumstances that he's in. Imagine you and him together and how it comes about will come about. I think I realized I have a story that I'm not pretty or skinny enough. Is that not being good enough? Yes. I think that's why SP and I hot and cold. Yes, Marie. I am more than good enough. Stand in front of the mirror, darling, naked every day and tell your body it's fucking amazing. Loz, what do you do when you are not on lives? How do you keep busy? I'm trying to keep busy so I not focus on 3D of SP and not together yet, but sometimes I just want to stay in bed. Look, guys, if you just want to stay in bed, go and have a bed day and lie there and get your feelings out and have a big cry, but try not to do it too much, darling, because that's just kind of spiraling. Go and get a hobby or go and spend time with your friends or go and do things for you. Get your nails done and do stuff for yourself. Do self-care kind of stuff, Whitney, when you're feeling like that. From your last rant, I've started becoming focused on self-concept, and ESP is showing some shifts, how to get full manifestation of me and him getting married and get rid of the third party in 3D. Well, that's wonderful. Like what? Keep going. It doesn't happen overnight. Okay, it can, but it doesn't necessarily. The old story might still be playing out with the third party there. Just banish her from your mind. Just see you and your SP married. See you and your SP married. Okay, just focus on that and really work hard on the self-concept. Loz, so we cannot manifest to change a cheater. Who said that? Yes, you can. You cause the cheater. You cause them. You cause the cheater. Go and watch my video on how to manifest commitment from them. Guys, if you think they're going to cheat, they'll cheat. If you feel not good enough and other girl's going to be a threat, they might cheat. You cause that. So all you have to do is change your thinking about yourself and them. The bad player story you've got about them, the bad cheater story, and the story about you not being good enough and not chosen, and it will change. Of course you can. Hi, I live with my mum and she's very negative. What can I do? Ignore it, darling, and just see her as positive. She's so positive. It's just such a pleasure to be around. She says such positive things now. She's so kind to me. I love living with my mum now. I remember when she used to be so negative. So if someone is in a relationship, oh God, hang on, this just jumped. I called in the perfect room to rent out of nowhere and felt so right, and now the guy ghosted me and we're desperate for a place to live in 5 days. What can I affirm for the guy to call us still? Well, just imagine you live there, darling. Okay? Just imagine you live there. Don't be in desperate needing energy about the room. Just imagine yourself living there. Okay? Or just say, we have our room in 5 days. We have such a great place. In 5 days, we're going to be in the most amazing place. Any tips on embodying the state of feeling chosen? You've just got to, in all circumstances where you feel like you aren't, you've got to tell yourself you are. Like, be on top of any thinking. Like if someone's ignoring you in a conversation, oh, people love talking to me. If your SP doesn't message you back, give it an excuse. He's fallen down a well because I'm the most chosen person. Of course he wants to talk to me. Anytime you get triggered, be on top of it. Sorry if I posted twice. If you're living from a state of wealth, but at a moment you can't buy anything, what can I affirm at that moment? I could buy this, but I'm just choosing not to at the moment. I've got so much money in the bank, but I'm being frugal. I'm a very good saver. Live in the like la la land that you've got so much money, you're choosing not to spend it doing. How do I know I'm all of those things, that I feel like my self-concept is in a good place. However, he hasn't come back yet. This is where I keep getting hung up, being at this a year now. All right, guys, but if you've been at it a year, you've got to think, what old story am I holding on about them? Okay, if your self-concept's great, if you're seeing you and him together, then you might still have some really old story thoughts about him that you haven't got rid of. That's where you might have gone wrong. Or it's still playing out. You just got to be patient, guys. Got to be patient. Affirmations for abandonment issues. No one would dare leave me. I'm too important to lose. I'm too special to lose. Or if you don't want to say leave, you can say the people always stay. The people in my reality always stay. The people who love me always stay. Why do you look like somebody in Publix today? What does that mean? Been in that situation where my bank was negative, but I still kept saying money comes to me from everywhere. And 2 weeks later, I got a $2,000 check. So keep persisting. Yes, that's great, darling. Yep. Keep persisting, regardless of circumstances. That's great, Amber. And how do you manage not feel guilty about the situation or like a bitch, like everyone says even? I used to think about that women being third party and now I'm one. Guys, just banish them from your mind. If you see you and them together, the third party won't exist, okay? Go and listen to Neville's story about how he manifested his wife. He was married when he met her. He was separated, but still married. Stop thinking of his old wife as a problem. My friend keeps pulling away our mutual friends away from me so she can have the attention. What can I affirm so this stops? My friends always spend time with me. My friend doesn't do that anymore. I remember when she used to pull all my friends away. I'm the chosen person. I'm everyone's favorite person. They all spend time with me. Can I message you about the schema therapy on Facebook, please? No, guys, please don't DM me. I won't answer them. Honestly, just look up schema therapy in your area and you'll find a schema therapist or group therapy. I haven't answered DMs for about 6 months, guys. Sorry. Blah, blah, blah. Also, I had a dream. I heard classical music piece from Gustav Holst that is sometimes used in weddings. It was playing on the TV in the background, so I'm taking it as best for that. Oh, I love that. I guess my question was junk. I am out. No, Meg, but if you think that way, you'll get ignored. You obviously got a whole lot of thinking about I get ignored. Darling, the questions just jumped. Don't spiral and have a fucking shit show spiral in the fucking comments about I'm junk just because I didn't see your fucking question. You've got a whole of I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough shit to even have my question answered thinking. Get on top of that, darling. What the fuck? Jesus Christ, guys. Some of you haven't even bothered to read my comments make me so angry because it's just showing me your shitty self-concept right there. So if someone is in a relationship or marriage, you can't manifest them. I thought circumstances don't matter. Meg, why are you so angry? I'm seeing a question now. You weren't listening. You weren't listening to me. Fucking open your ears and stop getting cranky and shitty when you don't get your own way. Meg, I didn't say that you can't have them if you're in a relationship, but I said, what shitty self-concept do you have that you chose a person who's unavailable, Meg? Your self-concept needs a hell of a lot of work, Meg, because you're getting shitty in the comments. Now you're not listening to me and you're not hearing me when I say assess why you chose an unchoosable, unavailable person. That's about you. You have to fix your self-concept before you can get them back. And yes, circumstances don't matter. But I tell you what, if you're choosing unchoosable people and you continue to feel unchosen and then you chuck us back in the comments like a fucking psycho saying, well, I guess I'm junk. Well, I'm sorry. If you think you're junk in the comments, imagine how you feel in relationships about yourself. You must feel junk in relationships, which is why you're choosing people who can't choose you and are married because you don't feel even good enough to be the girlfriend. And so you feel junk in relationships, don't you, Meg? And that's why that's happening to you. And that's why you're getting triggered by this fucking comment. And you think I said that circumstances do matter and that you can't get a married person. Why are you picking the married person in the first place, Meg? Probably because you feel like junk. Don't work on your fucking self-concept, darling, and stop getting triggered in my fucking lives about your shitty self-concept. And listen when I talk. Fuck me. Don't get shitty at me in my comments. It just tells me that your self-concept's in the shitter, darling. And that's why you're choosing a married or person in a relationship in the first place, which is what I was saying, if you've been listening. You can get them back, darling, but you really fucking better work on that self-concept stat because it's in the toilet. If I'm supposed to give everything good meaning, but I'm visualizing living in the end too, what meaning should I give gaps in the contact? Oh, he's fallen down a well. Darling, he's fallen down a well. I really couldn't care less. He's off at work. He's FIFO. He's working 5 weeks on and 5 weeks off, and he works in a mine, and he doesn't have any access to a mobile phone. I don't know, darling. Give it whatever meaning you like. He's been cryogenically frozen because he was sick for a while, and they're bringing him back to life in 2 weeks. Who knows, guys? Give it good meaning that works for you. What are some affirmations, self-concept affirmations to get rid of the third party? Go and do my get rid of the third party affirmation sleep tape, darling. And in that, I don't focus on the bitch at all. It's a whole lot of I'm the priority. I am chosen. I am more than enough. I get everything I want. No one compares to me. If not seeing my question, being a people pleaser, my whole relationship, I'm to step into being a queen, a goddess. Yes, please. When she comes back, what do I say? I won't settle for anything less than a relationship. Yes, darling. So if you've always been in people pleaser mode, that's a whole lot of I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough, I need to give love, I need to give to get love. I don't need to give to get love anymore. I remember when I used to be a people pleaser, I don't do that anymore. People do for me now. I love to receive now. People love doing things for me and I love it. And see you and her in a completely different scenario when she comes back. The dynamic is different. She's giving. I've been doing lots of self-concept affirmations and exes keep popping up. Oh, wonderful, darling. My second live I'm catching was first in the USA last week and now I'm in Oman and it's 7 a.m. Oh, Okay, makes sense. I say that from hearing Neville say something like, if you persist, it will harden into fact. Yes, guys, it will. Absolutely. But you've got to persist in the new thinking completely. You can't let the old thinking run you and then assuming it's going to persist. That's what I'm saying. Assuming it's going to conform. What happens when you revise? It literally changes the past, guys, because all the past is a memory. It doesn't actually exist anymore. You're thinking of it. So all you need to do is change your thinking of it, and then it changes because all it is a memory. You can't go back to it like a DeLorean, Back to the Future style in a DeLorean, can you? It doesn't exist. It's just your memory, so you're changing your memory of it. All right, guys, I've already got to go. Sorry. I've got so much to do today. Was my ex suddenly married 3P? Oh, God, I know exactly how I created this BS. Worked on my self-concept. Can I still get him back? Should I revise it or keep living in the end, being married to him? Yes, darling. Keep being married to him in your mind. It's up to you guys when these kind of situations pop up, what you're going to do. I can't tell you what to do. Whilst my SP hasn't asked me out yet, how do I affirm, please? Just imagine you and him together. And imagine him constantly asking you out. He's constantly taking me on dates. But imagine you and him together as well, darling, as well as that. You have to call your brother back. I know, guys. I really have to. Sorry, guys. And I've got so much to do. Sorry. I didn't mean to rant, but Jesus Christ. Loz, what can I do if my SP calls me when he needs something? Should I do no contact? I feel used. Guys, if you feel used, that's about you. If you feel like you need to go into no contact, that's about you. Feeling not good enough and not chosen by them and like a piece of shit in your brain. And so you feel like you need to do manipulative shit like go no contact. And if you feel used, that's about you. Were you used as a child in any kind of way, abusive-wise? That's probably why. Or were you made to feel not good enough in some way as a child? That's why. Going no contact with them won't make any difference because it's your thinking about you being not good enough that's causing them to act that way. Stop feeling you feel used. Do my sleep takes of feeling chosen, darling, please. Work on your self-concept hardcore. How do you forgive yourself from past manifestations and change the story that this person forgives me? Go and do the whole Ho'oponopono prayer. We're going to do a forgiveness challenge in the Facebook group soon, guys. I was going to do it this week, but I think I might do a brand new one today about resurrecting for Christmas, the new you. We're going to be the new us, okay? Just forgive yourself. I forgive myself for the past. I know now that I'm the new girl. I didn't know better then. I know better now. I forgive myself and he forgives me. He doesn't care about the way I acted. Thinks it's cute. All right, guys, I've really got to go. I'm sorry. If you have a whole lot of questions that I didn't answer in here, guys, you can ask them in the comments below, answer each other's questions, or go to the Facebook group. The link's in the comments here. Sorry, the description. Subconscious Laws Facebook group, and go in the Q&A forum and ask them, or wait for the next live on TikTok. Okay, guys? So sorry I haven't got so many questions here, guys, but I really have to go today. I've got all this Christmas shit to do. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me, and this will post straight away now on YouTube. I'll probably make the thumbnail. It's a red and white thumbnail. I'll probably say circumstances don't matter and something else like, what else did we talk about here? Circumstances don't matter, and I can't remember what else we talked about. Something. Rant. All right, guys, you can watch it back in a minute. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye, guys.